First question for Adam comes from John Warner with the Waco Tribune-Herald.
Adam, Oklahoma is obviously an explosive team. How important was it to get off to that 16-2 start?
It's very important. Every possession that we have, we try to go 1-0. So we were very excited that we came ready to play, and just started off the game good.
And what did you think of the team's defensive effort tonight?
Our team, we did a great job. We had a couple mishaps, but we did a great job. We were all connected, and we just wanted to make sure that we made a statement defensively.
Next question from Matt Roberts with KWKT-TV in Waco.
Yeah, Adam, it feels like when you guys race out to a big lead like that in the first half, does the bench really kind of demoralize them, and that you can just kind of come at them in waves and makes it that much harder for them to come back on you guys?
The bench mob, I guess you could say, we definitely pride ourselves on coming in and providing that spark. Me, Matt, LJ, John, whoever's coming off the bench, we just try to come out there and compete at a high level and give us an edge.
And you guys obviously talked about the defense a little bit, but having such a deep bench and having so many guys, does that help you all be able to really kind of leave it all out there on the court on the defensive end?
It definitely plays a big part. It allows us all to be selfless out there and just play for each other. And a lot of times it's one guy that might not have a good night, but we have a great team to where we can all pick each other up.
Thanks.
Next question from Jason King with Sikkim 365.
Adam, you struggled a little offensively last game, but you really seem to feel comfortable out there tonight. Do you kind of feel like you're back in your groove now after missing some time?
I'm definitely going to take it one game at a time. I'll keep you updated on that. But my teammates have done a great job ever since I came back at encouraging me. My coaches have always stayed on me and told me to just go out there and just enjoy and have fun, and the rest will take care of itself. So I have to give credit to all my teammates and my coaches.
Next question from Kendall Kaut with Our Daily Bears.
Adam, you had a few tough turnovers in the first half, but you were able to bounce back. How were you able to get into that kind of mindset to still play effectively after some tough turnovers?
It's always important to just drop whatever goes on, the bad parts, whatever goes on in the game. So my teammates, my coaches, they all told me just let it go. You know, we have another opportunity every time we go down and back on the court. So I just try to pride myself, especially in the second half, to just come out and just continue to support my teammates, continue to come out there and be aggressive and compete.
And what do you think you all maybe did in the second half to score a little bit more efficiently against Oklahoma's defense?
We definitely prided ourselves on being more selfless and getting into the paint and looking for others. And once we got that going, we were able to find open shots. We were able to get to the basket easier.
Thanks, Adam.
Next question from Andrew Miner with Bears Illustrated.
Hey, Adam, your second Big 12 game. I was curious, you mentioned that teammates and coaches were encouraging you. I was wondering if there was any particular piece of advice or encouragement that stuck out to you entering this game.
They just always tell me to stay confident and that I belong here, and they just have done a great job of just lifting me up every second, every practice, every game, and it's just been paying off, and it's keeping me positive, but also keeping me humble.
Sure. And then offensively as a team, how do you guys decide when to pick up the tempo versus slow it down and try to reel it in and not play too fast and turn the ball over?
It mainly depends on the score. A lot of times when we're up a little bit, we try to run down the clock and everything just to let the game go on, get the best shot that we can.
OU is obviously an explosive team. How important was it to get off to that 16-2 start?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was big. Our starters, we can always count on them. And, we ended up winning by 15, so that was huge.
And what did you think of the team's defensive effort tonight? Y'all held them down pretty well.
Yeah. I think our defense is the best in the country consistently. So, I wasn't surprised at all, but, it's just what we do. Like, Mark and Davion, probably two best defenders I've seen in college. So.
Next question from Jason King with Sikkim 365.
I kind of had the same question for the most part, but it just seemed like you were so much more aggressive tonight, whether it was pulling up from three when you were a little more guarded maybe than last game, or just driving to the basket. Did you kind of enter this game with that mindset that you were going to
I've entered
more?
every game with that mindset so far this season. My coaches have done a great job of helping me figure out what is the most efficient stuff for me, and I'm a good three-point shooter, but we found I'm efficient attacking the rim and pitching it to other guys. So that's what I try to focus on, and I take if they're giving it to me wide open, I got to take it. And one of those was a heat check, but you got to take those every once in a while.
Next question from David Smoke with Sigma 365.
Matthew, I was talking to Coach Tang earlier today. He mentioned something where you sent a text to a coach after you had not done your free throws after practice, and that you sent a text to him later on that said, "Hey, thanks for keeping me honest and accountable."
Yeah.
How much maturity did that show on your part, or what did it mean that Coach Tang reached out to you?
Yeah. Well, that was actually it sounds like a small story, but I think that was a huge moment for me, because I've always had back and forth with my coaches. I've always done that since I've been here, and that was the first time where I was really upset, because I walked off during the free throws and I came back and he told me I had to start over because I walked away, and I was really upset, but I didn't say nothing to him. I just did it, and then told him thank you for holding me accountable, and that's not something I would have done, not even close to that. And then Coach Tang recognizing that's pretty cool. So I mean that sounds like a small story, but that was actually a pretty big moment for me, considering my history with the coaches. So yeah.
Next question from Kendall Kaut with Our Daily Bears.
Matt, in the first half, you were able to hit John on a roll and a pick and roll action for a score. How do you feel like you've developed as a passer in pick and roll plays?
I think I've always been a solid passer, but just having more of the mindset of attacking the rim first instead of shooting threes has just allowed me to let the ball screen progress a little bit more, so I can find the roller and the opposite corner, stuff like that. So just having that driver kind of mindset, that's helped me a lot.
And then against Iowa State on Saturday, there was a big play in the second half where you helped off a steal against Solomon.
Yeah.
Do you kind of remember that play, and what are you looking for? Help off of a shooter and still go for a steal?
Yeah, well, part of the scouting report on him was that he's probably not passing. So, just going into rake on him, and then as soon as we get it, I can push it, find people. So that's just part of the scouting report.
Next question with Jack Allen with KXXV TV in Waco.
Hey, Matt, you said that you play a lot with confidence. Obviously, that's evident on the court. Is it easier to play that way when your starters go out and get the kind of lead that they got tonight?
Yeah, I would say it makes it easier, but I try to go in regardless of what the situation is, just attacking. We could be up 30, down 30. I'm going to just be playing my game. But, yeah, it definitely helps when you have the confidence that your starters give you. So, yeah.
Next question from Kevin Lonnquist with SigmaSports.com.
Well, Matthew, you've been on this role offensively here lately over the last few games. What do you think is different about your game this year than maybe in the first couple of years?
Like I said, just my coach is helping me figure out what's most efficient for me. I've been working a lot with a lot of our managers shooting, and I've been doing post-ups recently. I got a couple post-ups today. But, just figuring out, really kind of, taking some of my pride out of it and trying to listen to what they have to say. And just, going out, they're not trying to make me not be aggressive. They just want me to be aggressive at the right time. So just, understanding that.
Well, any Big 12 win is a good one. And Coach Kruger always is such a tough team to defend, teams that he coaches. He had two top 20 offenses in the country going at it tonight. And I thought first half we really did a great job, kind of shot ourselves in the foot with our turnovers that led to their buckets, but really guarded well. And they had some good looks, but didn't make them. Second half, you knew they were going to make more shots because they're too talented. And I thought we did a great job at answering their runs in the second half, and never really letting them get in that single-digit area where you get a lot more nervous.
All right, please use the raise hand function if you have a question for Coach Drew. First question comes from John Warner with the Waco Tribune Herald.
Scott, y'all got off to that big lead early, 16-2. How important was that?
It was a great start, and you knew OU was going to make a run and come back and not go away. But as a coach, you always want to start fast. You always want to get a lead and make the other team play catch up. And I thought the starters really did a good job in that first media plus.
Was that kind of cool seeing your dad on the screen after the game?
It was nice of Don Rogers setting that up. So, but he's a coach. He knows who deserves the credit, and that's the players and the staff, administration, and head coaches get to benefit from that. And those are team awards. Thanks.
Next question from Kendall Kaut with Our Daily Bears.
Scott, you all went with the 9-man rotation tonight, and LJ had some nice minutes in that stretch. Why did you feel like a 9-man rotation might work out quite well tonight?
Well, it was a fast-paced game, and our guys were getting a little tired. And the great thing is we got depth, and LJ came in and gave us a great spurt, and we trust him. Unfortunately, at times you can only have 5 guys out there. So some games your rotation's a little tighter depending on fouls and the pace of play. But that group that really got us that separation at the end of the first half was critical, just like the starters in the beginning of the first half to get us that separation.
Adam had a couple of tough turnovers in the first half and really turned it around. Did you feel like in practice this week or something kind of showed that he was getting over the COVID-19 protocols that had kind of limited him?
Definitely you could tell the rust was coming off. We'd had some good practices, and he looked like his old self. So, I mean, 6 for 8, you take that any day of the week. I know he'll be upset with the 3 turnovers, but besides that, very effective.
Next question from David Smoke with Sigma 365.
Hey, Scott, I asked Matthew earlier about a moment this week when he did not finish up his free throws. Coach brought him back to practice, and that it meant a big deal to him. It was a part of his maturing process. Jerome Tang shared that story with us today. How much has he grown up and matured in your eyes?
Well, I think Matt's a great kid. He's got a great heart, and he's somebody that I think you've seen his basketball game mature from his freshman year to now, and mentally he's done the same. I mean, none of us are where we want to be. That's why each day we want to get better and we want to improve. But you can definitely see in his game he's taking steps forward, and that mental part is a big reason for that. Putting in the time, working on the right things, feeling more comfortable in what he needs to do. So all those above. And he's defending and rebounding better.
Next question from Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider.
Scott, your three-point defense, particularly on Umoja, but really the whole I think they were 4 of 24. How big of an emphasis was that coming into this game?
Well, I mean, Umoja was 8 for 11 from 3 against West Virginia. He's shooting 49% on the season. He's a great player, great kid, and we knew we had to be there and not let him get going. We didn't want to foul as much as we did in the first half. You don't want to put shooters on the line and let them get confidence. But I mean, he's a really talented player and a good person.
The way that Matthew attacked, particularly when Manic came back in the game, was that part of the game plan to begin with, or did y'all see kind of maybe a weakness there?
Well, I think each and every night the luxury we have is you have different guys that can get going, and sometimes matchups benefit you based on who's playing well. And I thought sometimes we scored on Manic, other times we were able to get some assists. But he's a tremendous player, and Matt was just rolling tonight.
Next question from Matt Roberts with KWKT-TV in Waco.
Yeah, Coach, when you get up big like that and knowing that you have the bench you have to kind of come at them in waves and make it that much tougher to come back, how much of a luxury is that, knowing that you've got that on your side?
Well, it's a luxury, but us coaches know that there is no safe lead in the Big 12. You look the other night, West Virginia, Oklahoma State, what was it, 19 points with 11 minutes to go. And, I mean, we've had big leads and lost them, and we've been down big and come back. So the tough thing is you fight human nature when you get a big lead. And you think and assume things are going to be easy. In Big 12 play, they're not.
And with the deep bench that we talk about so much, how much does that help your guys really be able to kind of leave it out there from a defensive intensity standpoint?
Well, I think the fact that they know if one guy gets in foul trouble, it's not going to kill our team. And a lot of times you go into games, and if this guy's on the bench, they really struggle. And we're really blessed to have a lot of players that contribute in a lot of different ways.
Thanks, Coach.
Next question from Andrew Miner with Bears Illustrated.
Hey, Coach, Mark Vital collided with Brady Manick early in the first half tonight. He was kind of holding his wrist. He went out after the free throws and then came back with tape on his wrist. Do you expect him to be fine, or is there any update on his status?
Yeah, he was sore, but I'm sure he's going to do a great job. He's probably rehabbing right now as we talk, and he'll be ready.
Okay, awesome. And, in the first half, you had 9 turnovers. I think you only had 3 in the second half. Is there any part of your mind that thinks that sometimes you need to slow it down a little bit more instead of playing so fast that can lead to some of those transition outlets and let teams cut into a sizable lead?
Yeah, I'm laughing because that's such a fine line. Always, you always go back and forth. Like, you, as a coach, you hate when you don't get quality shots and quality opportunities. At the same time, the last Ken Palm numbers I saw, we were 26 in pace, and we had the third best offense. So a lot of positives for how we're playing. At the same time, there's times when you're like, we need to be a little more patient and get a better shot and make them play defense. So it's a constant tension you're trying to work out.
Sure, I appreciate it, Coach.
Thanks.
Next question from Jack Allen with KXXV TV in Waco.
Hey, Scott. Today, across the country has been a tough day for a lot of people. With everything going on at the Capitol, was that something that you had to discuss with your team or talk about? And just in the last week, has social justice issues come back into the forefront? Is that something that y'all are continuing to talk about? And what do those conversations look like?
Well, I think Coach Tang's prayer tonight was tremendous, and everyone that was at the Farrell Center. His sentiment probably is exactly how our team feels, and it's a great prayer. And I think the conversations we've had, we'll keep having. Those are things that will go on each and every year because you want to get better, and there's only one way to get better is that's address issues, try to improve.
Next question from Kevin Longquist with SicEmSports.com.
Scott, you called timeout with about 5 minutes to go in the first half. You're up 5, and I know coaches want to say their words of wisdom are always magic, but what was the big adjustment that you felt like you guys made with that big stretch run to close out the half?
Well, I told them we needed a 17-point lead, and they listened. So, no, I tell you, basketball is such a game of momentum and spurts, and sometimes you just need to get in a timeout, get something to drink, recalibrate, and then come back a little more focused. And I thought we did that. And then our substitutions obviously gave us new energy, new life, and I know LJ really played well, and Adam and Matt and John, but LJ especially did a great job in giving us a boost during that stretch.
And then Matthew said a few moments ago about Manick being maybe the key on the three-point line, kind of limiting him because, Reeves will probably get his share. But how key was that to maybe take that second option away from them from the yard?
Well, I mean, Manick, Reeves is a great scorer. He can score from anywhere, and you want to make him tough because you know he's going to get his, but you just don't want it to be 11 for 14 or 12 for 14. And then Manick, I mean, he's 5 for 11. He's a great player and somebody, same exact thing. And I thought we really did a good job, especially in the first half, trying to identify where those two were. And then everybody else that's has their strengths, just trying to take away their strengths.
All right, that's all the questions of Coach Drew. Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys, and thank the fans that came tonight. I thought it was a Big 12 game, and the fans definitely gave us a lift, and can't thank them enough for those that came and those that gave their tickets to others that could come. So that's why I think you look at the Big 12 and why road teams have been so successful is obviously everyone's missing the fans and that home court advantage, and understandably so. But for those that did and were able to come, thank you for what they gave us tonight.